All right, what's going on, everybody? So today we're going to be doing the 9th gen battery relocation kit. Now this kit will be relocating your battery from the stock location in the engine bay to underneath your passenger headlight. Now this is only for the 2012 to 2015 9th gen Civic. Okay, so do be aware of it. And so we're going to go ahead and show you step by step how to do it. Now I had an old video here, maybe about 3-4 years ago. So we've done a lot of improvement to this kit. So please go ahead and watch it if you're going to be interested in relocating the battery. Now, the very first thing you need to be aware of it, in order to relocate the battery from here to underneath your headlight, you are going to be having to delete your wiper bottle. That's where the battery is going to be going to. So now, if you do not want to be the guy that wants to relocate it in that spot, it's completely understandable. Okay, we do have a trunk tray here, and this is the harness that I'm working here. This will also work for a 9th gen. I have more details about that. You can go ahead and watch the video for that tray itself. But today we're going to go ahead and cover the video here for the front. And some of the things that you need to do, I'm going to show you guys a step-by-step guide in order to go ahead and install this. It is a very simple kit. It does take a little bit of time, so do have some spare time for yourself. Now, some of the questions I get here all the time is, with the battery being in that spot, will it affect the battery? And that is a simple question. That will not affect the battery. Okay, guys? Like, batteries are sealed. If you've ever seen Jeeps go on water and do all this stuff, it doesn't affect the battery one bit at all. Okay? So we have really great hide material here, and I'll go more in details about that. That does not affect the battery. Okay. Next thing is, what battery does it fit here on this tray? And that is only designed for the OEM size battery. You see what I mean? Size battery. So this is a replacement battery from AutoZone, and this is a 51R. So you can see here, and some of them are called R51, and the difference is it changed the terminals to the other side. That's the difference between them, but just get an OEM replacement for yours if it's not already bad. But some of the guys will ask, what about the yellow top? The yellow top battery will also work on that tray, but it has to be the size that is a 51R. So they do sell a replacement for the yellow top. So again, it will only fit the OEM size of battery. They sell all different types of brand, there's so many, but just have to be aware, hey, this is the same size as my OEM replacement. And that's what will let you know if it will fit here or not. Because you can see here how we have made this. This is specifically just for the OEM size battery. Okay, so now I do sell the battery by itself, and the reason I do this is because a lot of guys want to build it themselves. They want to save a buck or two, and that's absolutely fine. This is why I offer it separately. Now, I offer the charge harness separately, and I order the remote terminals. The remote terminals is a very simple and a very precise piece, because if your battery dies, this is a very common thing that a lot of people, I don't want to relocate it there because my battery dies. Completely understandable. But guess what? We have remote terminals. And those remote terminals, what they do is they give current from the battery where it's relocated to where you're going to go ahead and mount the terminal pieces. As you can see here on the RSX. And then this is the same drawing that is going to be for the 9th gen. The pieces are right here. You can go ahead and pop the hood and jump your car. I have more details here that in a second, but that's one of the few common questions that I get asked all the time is about that. Now, the next thing is we have the battery tray, and they're fully stainless, so you don't have to worry about them getting rusted. Okay, we used to offer a mild steel that was a couple years back, but you know what? We ended up just changing it to get them done and all stainless. Okay, so you don't have to worry about getting them rusted. Obviously, there's some guys that always getting painted and whatnot, not painted, powder coated. Let me say that correctly. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover some of the steps here about the cables, and then once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and take you guys outside, and we're gonna do a step-by-step install. There's gonna be a couple things that you need to have in order to do the install. There's a little bit of trimming, but it's very, very minimal. And so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get it done and get you guys engine bay looking a lot better than the battery being in the stock location. All right, everybody, so here's gonna be the remote terminal cables, and then it's a very simple piece, and it's very I would say if you're getting this, I would highly recommend it, just because you're not gonna be taking off your bumper to jump your battery. Hopefully it doesn't die, but if you do let your car sit, it just tends to happen. Okay, so the piece is very simple. It's gonna get one for the positive and one for the negative. Okay, very simple piece. So one goes to the negative and one goes to the positive. So the way this works here, and I'm gonna show it to you guys here, so you guys can get an idea here. We got a drawing here. This is the same thing as for the RSX, and it's gonna be the same drawing for the 9th gen. So you can see here, so the way it works, this is for the remote terminal. Okay, let me get something here. So, okay, so what it does here, we got our positive, okay, and then what you do is run it, okay, boom, you connect this, okay, to your cable, okay, boom, you run it, and then that sticks out, okay, and that's how you jump the battery. And then now for the negative, okay, you can see here, number 14, and that goes there. And that just goes to your chassis ground. So you got to make sure there's no paint or nothing surface. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to jump your car. So very simple, okay? You have your battery, okay? You get the positive, comes to here, and that's how you're able to jump the car. So can't make that any easier than this, guys. Okay, so now that you understand that, hopefully it's not too confusing. So you're not going to be running your negative here, or you're going to be running your negatives to your chassis. Remember, your chassis is negative. So that's how you're able to jump the car without having to run another cable all the way back here. So that saves a little bit of money for you guys. We don't have to make another long cable. So it keeps the price a little bit down. Now, the next thing, and it's a little bit different for the 9th gen. And this is why it has taken so long, and trying to improve this and trying to make it better for you guys so it can be as plug-and-play as possible. Mind this, all of this is sold separately. So the battery is sold separately, this is sold separately, and that is sold separately. Or you can buy it all together in the website, all together as a one kit, or you can buy individual parts. That's going to be your choice. A lot of guys just buy the battery and think they can put it all together, and they find out that you actually spend more money doing this. Believe it or not, you probably will, and you're gonna see how good I have done this. So for the 9th gen, it is a little bit different for the negative cable. Every other car has it just like this, you can see here, but you guys a little different. So you guys have to have a sensor here. There's gonna be a little sensor on your battery, okay? And what that does is here is for your dash, I believe, I'm not mistaken. But what we have done is we have made an extension harness. Just took a pain in the butt to get all these plugs correctly. So it is a male and a female side, and all you have to do is plug it, okay? And then we have our battery ground. So once you bring that terminal piece here on you guys's, you're gonna have to use your OEM one, okay? So you bring it over here, okay? Mind this, I'm trying to do this with one hand, so it's not gonna work ideal. Okay, just get the point here. It's supposed to go backwards. Oh. All right, supposed to go like this, supposed to go down, but I'm not gonna go ahead and open that. So anyways, so what you're gonna do, the negative, all you do is run it here, okay? Plug it in, give it power, and then you run it to your chassis, okay? Just like if it was gonna be here. So you can see here, number 8, or number 7 here, number 7, and then you run it to the chassis ground. So you can see negative terminal to the battery. So you can see how it is. So you do is run it to the chassis ground. That's it. So on this, gonna be negative, but this is on the positive side. But you get it. That's why it wasn't going then. So you can see it here. So you do is run it, bam, and then you run it to your chassis. Anywhere in your chassis, there's a hole there. Put it on, thread it on. I'm gonna show you how it looks in the car. I'm just giving you guys here a little overview so you guys don't get too confusing over there. All right, the next one is a little bit confusing, but it's not. I promise you, it is not. This will clean your base so much. You're just gonna be able to have so much room in the engine bay doing this, and it gets rid of all the cluster mess with all the OEM stuff. So this harness, the way it works, okay, it's a very simple piece, and it took a very long time to just get it right. So the way it works is, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you, so we can hear, we have our positive piece here, okay, and the way it goes in, okay. So you can see here, so it goes in. And we got this piece right here. So this piece right here that you see here, bam, going this way, that's the one going here. That will go right here to your alternator. You can see here. And then it will jump from your alternator to your starter. Okay, very simple piece. So number 3, alternator. Number 4, starter. Okay, very simple. And then here, that is going to be going to your fuse box. So you can see here, boom, round, straight to your fuse box. Now this fuse box is a little bit different because this is an RSX, but it's the same concept. Okay, and then the last one here, we got our transmission ground. This is just the bigger hole is going to be on the transmission side, and then it goes just straight to the chassis. Okay, and you got to have that as well, otherwise you're going to be having issues. Okay, very simple. Can't make that any easier. If you're relocating the battery, you got to do it just like this, okay? You can make your own wiring, do whatever you got to end up doing, but you got to do it similar to this. Otherwise, I mean, I don't know what you guys are going to be doing, but this one has worked and has worked for many years now. And like I said, it's been a long time trying to improve it, make things better, even with this for you guys. You know, adding the transmission ground, adding the remote terminal ground. You know what I mean? It's just been a lot of improvement for you guys to make it better so we can have this kit for you guys and, you know, be able to relocate it. Like I said, all video was not the best. I will admit to that. And I'm hoping this video is able to, you know, guide you a little bit better and show you exactly what you need to do in order to mount this. So, very simple. You can see here, we even added the pictures here. Bam. Bam. All right. So, anyways, we're going to go ahead, go to the car, show you how to put the battery tray here. And after that, hopefully you guys have no more questions because you guys already seen how we're going to route this. I'm actually not going to put this on his car because he has the battery in the trunk. But my buddy let me borrow his car so I can do the install here for him, for you guys, actually. So, shout out to my boy, Chris. So, all right. We're going to go ahead and go to the car and show you how to put this together. Guys. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do the install here on the 9th gen battery relocation kit. Now, there's going to be two things that you're either going to need. You're going to need a grinder with a cutting wheel, which if you can't do it with that, that's fine. Or you can do it with a saw, which is this one right here. And what exactly you're going to have to be trimming is going to be right here where you can see right above. And so you're going to have to cut this a little bit better. You can see here, still touching right here. So you're going to have to cut all the way flat, all the way across. If you don't do that, then the tray is not going to fit. That is going to be the only thing that you are required to cut. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you here. Mind this, I'm doing here on the floor. So it's going to be a 10 millimeter bolt there, another 10 there. But those two right there, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see here, those have a spacer behind it. And it's a nylon spacer. And what they do, they actually just space it back out in order to get a perfect fitment. See if you're able to see here. Oh, there you go. So very simple. If you have two people, maybe you have two people. If you have another person helping you, it will make the install a lot easier. All right, so the next one is gonna be right over here, and that is gonna be the brackets that it comes with it. You can see here, they're still loose, so we make them slotted so you're able to adjust it. And then it's gonna be a 10 millimeter bolt right there. And then the last one right here at the bottom, and that is to keep the battery tray. As you can see here, nothing's tight. So it kind of still moves. So once that's tightened down and that's tight down, everything stays on and completely sturdy. So the battery tray is slotted. You're able to move it forward and back as you wish, but it's not a lot of adjustability, and that is being because it's very tight already here. Remember, you are putting here that was never designed to be here. We have designed it to be here, but even then, it is a very, very tight fitment. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the battery and put it on here for you guys just to show you how that looks. But one more look at this bracket. So there's one right there. There's gonna be another one right there. You can see here, nothing tight. The one with the spacer, and then the other one up there, okay? And then the last one is gonna be the one right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off, slide the battery, show you how all the wirings are going to be routed. And yeah, so remember, you're going to need to be required to trim. You can see here, I have here, and I'm going to go ahead and get the battery and show you how that's going to be looking here. Okay, here we go, guys. We got the battery fully mounted. Now I did have to shave more, and this is exactly what I mean. You're going to have to, originally first time we actually end up cutting, you can see where that bolt is. We actually cut halfway all the way through there. So do be aware of it. You're gonna have to cut a good amount, and it's not that crazy, but you can see here, and what that will make it to slide this a lot easier forward. I'm not trying to cut his cord too much. This is just for video purpose. I don't know if he is gonna keep it here. I know he has it in the truck right now. Then I will, you know, trim a little bit more and get everything to fit fully flush. But I ended up just smoothing that out a little bit, and you can see how it actually fits. Now for the cables, very simple. All right, I'm gonna go over the positive. Okay, we have the positive there. Okay, remember it goes from the alternator to your starter out to your fuse box. So you can see how it looks. Ran the cables this way, right there onto his alternator, and then right onto the starter. You can see how that looks in there. Okay, so very simple. All right, and then it comes around. Obviously you guys can do a better job on this. This is again for video purpose. And then you can see here where that goes. A lot of the guys will tuck it nicely through here. And then we have the transmission ground right there. Clean, simple. On the transmission ground, there's a big old hole on one side and the other. And that is specifically for that right there to go there into the frame. So quick, simple. Can't make this any easier, guys. So the next one is going to be, remember I told you that you need to extend, well not extend it, but that we already made a harness. So you just have to plug this here where your negative was, and then bring your negative terminal and bring it over here. Okay, and you can see here, okay, and you're going to be plugging it here onto your sensor. Okay, and that extends it from the harness all the way down here. Obviously, again, you can make this look a little bit nicer. This is just for video purpose. And then you're going to be putting your negative here, and then you have your negative ground, and you can just put it anywhere that's clean. You're gonna have to clean it where there's no paint. You can see here there's a bunch of bolts that you can tie that down to. And the last step is gonna be if you want to run the remote terminal. And again, I don't want to drill into his car, but I want to show you guys for video purpose. You know, you can put him right here. Okay, sorry about that. You can put him there, and you can put the other one right next to it. Okay, and what you want to do is, I'll show you guys in the beginning. So you got the positive, you're gonna run the positive, you know, hide it nice tuck. You're gonna bring it around, and you're gonna bring it right onto the battery, right there where it is. Okay, and then the ground, okay, the ground, it is a very short, actually it's right here, so you can see here. Okay, so you can do the ground, boom, and you can actually run it right there to that chassis right here, or anywhere that is ground. Okay, and that's how you're going to be running the remote terminals. I hate to be not that great, like, you know, having this mounted, but I don't want to drill into his car, and I don't know exactly if he's going to want to keep it like this or not. So for video purpose, again, you just run the positive, bring it around, obviously make it look nice, put the positive piece on it. Okay, and it has a two-way piece in order to mount this. Okay, so you can see you can sandwich it like so, and that's about it for that piece. And that's how you know, your car dies, boom, you go ahead and jump it, and that's it. You don't have to worry about, you know, trying to put jumpers down there. It will be very difficult, and it will not be ideal. So I always recommend to get the remote terminals just for that reason. Pop the hood, jump it, ready to go. So that is gonna be for the install. I mean, there's not much else to explain. Very simple. Once again, the positive comes here, alternator, starter, right onto your fuse box, your transmission ground, your battery ground. Remember, you gotta use that cable to extend your ground, and then you have the remote terminals. And that is gonna be for the video. And hopefully that makes it easier for you guys. And make sure you tighten everything. And then that's it. Appreciate you guys watching, and it's a long time coming to make this video, but I'm happy here and is able to give you guys a quick overlook of the new parts that we got and how much easier it's now to relocate your battery.